In the beginning of this week's Parsha, we encounter a perplexing teaching concerning the mitzvah of tithing. In Devarim chapter 14, verse 22, it says, Aser ta aser is kol tvua zarecha, hayotzi hasoda shana shana. Tithe, you shall tithe all the seed crop that the field gives forth year by year. There's a book called Midrash Pliya, the perplexing Midrash. It's a compilation of many novel teachings on Torah that seem to be very difficult to understand. They all seem mystifying and puzzling. On this verse, Aser ta Aser, the Midrash Pliya says the following: Tithe, you shall tithe all the seed crop. This is the meaning of the verse, if you go left, I will go right. And if right, I will go left. Now this is a quote from a verse in the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 9. Over there, the Torah is discussing the quarrel between the shepherds of Abraham and his nephew Lot. Lot's herdsmen had different values than Abraham's, which led to them disagreeing in how they did business. Eventually, it reached a point where Abraham tells his nephew, why fight? We're brothers, so let's just agree to separate from each other in peace. There's so much land and plenty for both of us. If you choose to go to the left, I will choose to move to the right. And if you choose to move to the right, I will choose to move to the left. This is a nice story in Genesis, but what in the world does this have to do with this week's Torah portion discussing the mitzvah of tithing? What's the Midrash saying? Indeed, a perplexing Midrash. The commentary Binas Nevoinim gives a beautiful interpretation that explains it all. You see, in Hebrew, the word to tithe is aser, spelled with 3 Hebrew letters, ayin, sin, resh. The word in Hebrew for wealth is osher, also spelled with 3 letters, ayin, shin, resh. Tithe and wealth are spelled with the same 3 letters. The only difference in the middle letter is where you put the dot. If the dot is on the right, then it's a shin, making the word osher, wealth. If the dot is on the left, then it's a sin, making it aser, to tithe. In a Torah scroll, there are no dots. The reader must know himself whether to read it as a shin or a sin. Now the Midrash reveals to us a deeper meaning behind the mitzvah of tithing. Almighty God says as follows: if you choose to live as if the dot on the middle letter is on the left side, aser, with a sin, to tithe and give charity, then I will react and choose to put the dot on the right side and give you great wealth, osher, with a shin. But if, God forbid, you will choose to live as if the dot is on the right side, osher, meaning you will try to accumulate wealth by keeping every dollar you earn for yourself. If you will not tithe and give charity, then I will react to that by choosing to put the dot on the left side of the letter aser. I will see to it that you will only receive a 10% fraction of what I had in store for you. The Midrash now makes perfect sense. It is the verse in Genesis that is the code to unlocking this deeper message in this week's Parsha. The lesson for us is clear. We are entrusted by God to make our own financial decisions. We were given the freedom to choose what to do with our money. If we want to have more, then we are to give more, minimum 10%. We should not be so foolish as to think that if we don't give to others, we will have more. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Almighty God promises us more in return for giving more, and less for giving less. We choose our own destiny. This week, we begin the Jewish month of Elul, the final month of our Jewish year. It is now that we begin to take stock of the past year and improve those areas of our connection that need improvement. First and foremost, let us tackle the low-hanging fruit, the area where the godly incentive should make it a no-brainer. And that's the mitzvah of tzedakah, specifically the idea of tithing, giving 10% of our earnings to charity. We can only stand before God to ask for His mercy and generosity when He deals with us, if we ourselves are generous and merciful to others. I wish you a good Shabbos and a good Chodesh, and in the merit of our increased tzedakah, may this month of God's mercy, when the King is in the field and His 13 attributes of mercy are shining brighter than ever, be the best month of our year, so that we end this year on a high with His abundant blessings in a revealed manner.